Yarok the Desecrated versus Prossh, Skyraider of Kher. Very good commander, Prossh. And, can we top deck into a land? Yeah, I'm going to risk it. Prossh is a really good commander, so we have to top deck into a land within the next couple of turns, and it has to be a green source as well, actually, which I've only just thought about, but hey, the magic gods are with us. Believe in the heart of the cards. Go through to our opponent's turn. Prossh, Skyraider of Kher, a 6-mana Jund Dragon, 5/5 flyer. You can sacrifice a creature to give it +1 to its power. That is a free fire-breathing effect, basically. Whenever you cast this spell, you get X01 red kobold tokens, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast Prossh. Oh, and they've gone for him to Turak. They're actually not the worst cards to discard, although I would really have liked Chromatic Lantern. Let's go for the Nature's Law. We'll go for a black and green source here, just in case they manage to blow up our green source there somehow. We do need that to fix our colours. Yarok the Desecrated is 5 mana in Sultai for a 3/5 Death Touch lifelink. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes the triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, then it triggers an additional time. Let's go Wall of Blossoms, see if we can get into a land. We can, we're getting pretty lucky considering. So let's get that down tapped and we'll play the Mirri's Guile. And surely we've got a land in the top 3 cards that we can put on top next turn. And I think it might be good to go for Nissa's Vital Force next turn if we get into a land, because then the turn after we'll get her Limit Break off and it will give us an emblem with landfall, draw a card. If they get into a land next turn, they are onto Prossh, but they can't give it haste as far as I can tell, so I think we've got a turn to play around here. Oh, no lands there. That is unlucky. So we have to shuffle up with the Green Sun Zenith. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Our luck ran out with the lands. Draw into the Green Sun Zenith. We can get a Dryad Arbor out with this. Now what we can do is bounce Prossh back to its owner's hand, but then they'll be able to recast it, and they'll get even more tokens and be able to make Prossh even bigger. But I don't really see what else we can do here. We could try and make our opponent's Mana Rocks come in tapped, but if they get a Mana Rock down next turn, do we want to take time out to Manglehorn it? Yeah, we'll just wait on the Manglehorn. And we'll hold up our Cyclonic Rift plan. Okay, a Searing Spear. That gets rid of our mana. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. We have shuffled up the top cards of the library, so it might be that we can still get Nissa Vital Force into play. Unless we're very unlucky with the top 3 cards again. But at least they didn't get their Prossh down. Alright, there we are. Plenty of mana this time. Let's go for the Command Tower, I think. And then we can go for Bloodstained Mire next turn and shuffle the forest away. Down comes Nissa, Vital Force. And they might be able to blow up a Planeswalker, but we'll just try anyway. We will untap the blue source. And we can block anything with Wall of Blossoms if they get down a haster anyway, so we might as well get in for 5 damage on our opponent. See if they've got Destruction Magic for our land. Nope, they've got an Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, there's a heavy removal build going here. Let's get a black mana there. So unfortunately, no emblem for us. Let's just hope our opponent can't get into a land here. They didn't Windmill Slam a land, so it might be that they haven't been lucky enough to get into one. They go for a Rekindling Phoenix. That's a 4/3 flyer for 4 mana. When it dies, create a 0/1 elemental, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice this creature and return a card named Rekindling Phoenix from graveyard to battlefield. That gains haste. So in this case, why don't we go for the Sire of Stagnation? That is, whenever a land enters under our opponent's control, we get to draw a couple of cards, and they do want to make a land drop to get Prossh into play. And then we're looking at Yarok next turn. Wow, more destruction magic. That's a Dreadbore. This is very much like our Queen Marquesa deck that's just rammed full of removal. Hitting us with 4 damage in the air. Alright, I say there we go for a land. And then we can get down Yarok and see if it's going to eat more removal. Then we're going to shock in a Breeding Pool just in case we want to go for the Cyclonic Rift. Well, they don't seem to be using removal yet, so they're going to have to top deck into it or draw into it with the Argyll's Bloodfast. A Vampiric Tutor during the upkeep. Hopefully that's just for a land. Well, it may well have just been a Terminate. Now, they seem to be hesitating here to do something for 2 mana, so I'm wondering if they're playing around counter magic. Let's just see if we can take this 4 damage instead of bouncing that straight away. They might want to get down a Dark Confidant or something like that. Yeah, so let's go for the Rift here. Really clutching at straws at this point. Okay, they're paying life into something. Oh, it's just the Argyll's Bloodfast. Alright, Demonic Tutor. Can we grab something with Demonic Tutor? I dare say we can. I'm just going to go for Panharmonicon here, and then we're going to have to hope that we draw into some good stuff to get going with ETB effects. If they're just going to keep removing Yarok, then we'll have to hope that they don't blow up the Panharmonicon. We're up against a pretty spiky player here, so I wish that we had something like a Necropotence in hand for situations such as this. Down comes Obnixilis, reignited. They draw a card and lose a life. They're still not getting into lands, they're being very unlucky here. Let's try and buy ourselves some time with a Venser. Venser will come down and we can have it bounce itself and bounce the Obnixilis as well. And this is just while we try and get our mana up to do something else with the Panharmonicon. Just really trying to buy ourselves some time here. And if we get into a land next turn, then what we can do is play Venser on our turn and on our opponent's turn as well. But they managed to get rid of Panharmonicon with a Braid. And there's that Dark Confidant that I was thinking about, so I don't know if they've just drawn into that or not. Okay, we need to start trying to get into something here, so let's go for the Wood Elves. And the Wood Elves will come down, and we can search for a forest. And now we can hold up Venser for if Prossh does finally come down. And they do have the 6 mana finally. And they're more likely to draw into it with their Dark Confidant. Yep, they get into a mountain there. So if they get into another land next turn, they can recast their Prossh. Obnixilis reignited. I think the aim is to bait us with that. We will let it enter. They're going to destroy the Wood Elves. Well, that's better than card draw. And then Hull Breach destroys a target enchantment. We have shuffled our library, so we have no idea what we're getting into off the top. But that does hurt, getting rid of Miri's Guile. So we will, at the end of our opponent's turn, get down the Venser. We're going to bounce the Dark Confidant, so they get less card draw. And then with the Venser, we're going to swing in and kill off Obnixilis. Alright, Runescarred Demon isn't awful to draw into. Let's go in at the Obnixilis and kill that thing off. Now, do they think that we have Force of Will in hand if we go for Runescarred Demon? They might play around it if they think we're as spiky as they are. In fact, let's just try and stick our Yarok here. Chances are they're going to blow it up, but I don't really see that there's a whole lot we can do this game. Prossh decks are usually very good, and Jund is very good at removal, as we've no doubt shown in this game. E-Witness goes for any removal to get rid of Yarok. They are taking back Terminate, which they can cast. And then they can draw a card with their Argyll's Bloodfast. What did they just do? Well, we're up against a friend of the channel in Cranial Mage. And yeah, this is a very good Prossh deck that they've built. Have to be sure to put this list in the description if you want to share that with people. I'm sure people would be interested in it. I was actually looking at what happened with that Terminate. Yeah, they targeted Eternal Witness for some reason. That must have been a mistake. Let's go for Rune-Scarred Demon. Now, the first one, there's a lot of targeted removal in this deck, so I think we need to go for Lightning Greaves. Rune-Scarred Demon will let us tutor twice, thanks to Yarok. And then the other one, I think we can go for the, what is it called? Conjurer's Closet. Or we could go for Progenitor Mimic. No, Conjurer's Closet gives us more wiggle room there. So let's get down this land. And we'll go for the Lightning Greaves. Yeah, that misclick by our opponent really hurt them there because we would have only gotten one tutor there. Now, I don't know if we're going to make use of this Conjurer's Closet or not, but we'll certainly make use of the Lightning Greaves. Try and keep our opponent off of spot removal. Would we rather protect Rune-Scarred Demon or Yarok? Yeah, let's try and protect the Rune-Scarred Demon because we've got 6 damage to put on our opponent, and Rune-Scarred Demon does have 6 power. And if we get down the Conjurer's Closet, then we can make use of the flicker effect on that. It is a target effect, so we will have to remove the Greaves if we want to do that. Down comes Prossh, Skyraider of Kher. And because it comes down for the first time, it will only cost 6 mana, and therefore 6 tokens. Field of the Dead is switched on. We can just force our opponent to block here. Yeah, let's go for swinging in with everything. The kobolds are 0/1s. We'll take down Prossh no matter what. Or do we want the tutor with Rune-Scarred Demon? Or we could just bounce Prossh with Venser, couldn't we? Yeah, so let's not swing in with the Rune-Scarred Demon just yet. Yeah, we don't want to lose Rune-Scarred Demon, so let's just not swing in with anything. We'll get down Field of the Dead. That will get us a couple of zombies, because it's a permanent and it triggers twice with Yarok. Then it's Conjurer's Closet. And, oh, we can actually bounce Venser back to the hand as well, can't we? Because we'll get 2 Venser triggers. So let's flicker the Venser. We will definitely use that ability. It comes in, triggers twice. We bounce Prossh. And we bounce the Venser. Then when they try to recast Prossh, we can counter that with Venser. And that should make sure that we can get through our Rune-Scarred Demon for lethal next turn. See if our opponent has a board wipe. Yeah, they've just gone for Prossh. Now they could have a Toxic Deluge and wipe the board there, but they can't go for too much life into that. And it would keep Rune-Scarred Demon in play, because that has 6 toughness, so I think we just have to go for Venser again here. We don't care about all the tokens that they're going to generate on the ground. Let's bounce that back. And bounce the Venser back to hand. And they still get the Kobold triggers because they did cast Prossh. But like I say, they're on the ground. We don't care about those. And luckily, they don't have any power. Going to draw a card as a last-ditch attempt to get something going. Yeah, our opponent confirms that they did misclick by terminating the Eternal Witness. It would be good if Magic Online could like have something in place where they would ask you if you're sure about doing something unusual like that. I don't know how exactly they would implement it, but yeah, something like that is so easy to do on Magic Online, and it can really change the course of a game, as we're seeing here. So I dare say our opponent might have had us, and yeah, I'm leaning towards the fact that they did have us if it wasn't for the fact that they misclicked there. So I don't know if this counts, but it does show off a really good Prossh deck. A Prossh deck that would have had us if not for the misclick, I imagine. So I'm going to upload this anyway, but just know that this isn't really a real victory, because the misclick isn't exactly something that would happen for Paper Magic players. So it's not something that would happen in real life, it's just something that can happen when you're navigating your way around the client. Anyway, hopefully Cranial Mage will share the list with you all, because it looks like it's a really good list. And yeah, Heavy Jund removal, not too dissimilar to our Queen Marquesa deck. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing against it. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.